Is this happening? I'm in a state of shock just like you. I know you just saw the title and you're like, what? Like, you're lying. Like, no, I'm not. I'm not lying. I'm in a state of shock. Tower of God is getting an anime adaptation, and I never thought I would see the day. Like, honestly, I say this was something I least expected even over a season 3 of Spice and Wolf. Because it's a webtoon, it seemed like so out there that we would never actually see an anime adaptation of Tower of God. I have quite the history with this series. I've reviewed this series. I may not have reviewed the latest stuff, but I love Tower of God. It's a really good webtoon. Like, I love this series. And seeing this announcement is probably the best thing that we could get all year. Like, this is the best announcement. Like, this is insane. And I want to kind of explain to those that have no idea what Tower of God is, but also why this is amazing. So, Tower of God is a webtoon, not necessarily manga, and it's made by one individual that writes the story and also does the artwork. Now, at first, when you first read Tower of God Part 1, the first half, it is not the best artwork. It's good in moments, it's not the best artwork, but it is still an amazing story. The story is crazy. And when Part 2 comes around, the artwork really improves by a large margin, and then it continuously gets better. It's still ongoing at this time, like Tower of God. And the artwork is incredible at this moment, and it's great to see that, you know, we're gonna finally get to see this animated. So, the history of this is that Tower of God is actually the equivalent of One Piece. Now, maybe not in terms of sales or anything, but when you're talking about, let's say, the webtoon world, like when you're looking at the manga world, the first manga you want to talk about that's probably the best and the most noticed is One Piece. And so, if you're wanting to talk about, let's say, webtoons, one of the most noticed webtoon that is very popular, it has to be Tower of God. And if it's not Tower of God, it's God of High School, or it's Noblesse, which Noblesse is getting an anime as well. Yes, that was announced as well today, which I personally have never read Noblesse, but I've heard some great things about it. I know it got an OVA a while back, but it's officially getting an anime series too, so good news for all of you that are also Noblesse fans. Hopefully I'm saying that right. But getting back on Tower of God is basically the equivalent of One Piece in the webtoon world. And that means that we're finally going to get to see one of the best that the webtoon world has to offer. Tower of God. And now I know many are asking, so okay, it's getting an anime, who's it being made by? At this time, we have no idea what company is making it. However, we do know that it is a Japanese company, that has been confirmed, and we don't really know the date it will come out. So, at this time, it's probably a very early release, which means that we might see it sometime early next year, maybe at the earliest, but it's possible that it could be a long time until we see it, just depending on how the anime adaptation goes. But for those that have no idea what Tower of God is about, I'm about to explain to you. So, to kind of not spoil anything, the story is basically to where there is this giant tower that reaches up to the very stars, and everybody dreams to climb this tower. It's a very typical story, like at least it's an easy summary. But the thing is that each individual floor on this tower has a challenge, and each floor, you need to be able to surpass a certain challenge to move up to the next floor to qualify. And let's say if you fell in a certain way, if you fail the challenge, then you're denied access of ever continuing going up the tower. And so you have a bunch of characters that slowly are weeded out as the story progresses. And it's an amazing ride because you get to see a journey through this giant tower that has so many unique environments, so many different challenges and stuff that they have to face, and they have to form teams as well to be able to overcome any obstacle that, you know, comes before them. And obviously, there's teams that are against each other, trying to compete against, each other to move up the rankings. So, I mean, Tower of God is a really enjoyable story. If you like good story, you like good action, you like mind games, you're gonna love Tower of God. And if it gets a proper anime adaptation, then honestly, this could probably be one of the best series in years. Yes, I mean that. It's easily could be one of the best series in years in terms of popularity. It could potentially blow up like One Punch Man and Attack on Titan. if it's done right, because that is just how good the story is and how well recognized it is, and you'll get to probably meet one of the villains of the story, or antagonist, that's honestly one of the best, even if the most annoying, one of the best villains, at least, of webtoons, or one of the best villains in general I've seen, just because of how their character is described. So yeah, Tower of God, getting an anime. Great news, I'm excited, I cannot wait to finally see certain scenes animated. I do hope that if it is, getting properly adapted, I do hope they don't try to rush it. I hope that they take their time and they focus, like, maybe on the first arc, the first, 50 or so chapters, I hope they don't, actually, not first 50 chapters, hopefully they just do half of the first part, and then move into the second half, and then the second half of the story, we have slow progression with each individual arc having, a certain amount of episodes. I would love to see them take their slow, sweet time with the adaptation, because there is a lot of potential with Tower of God. Now, another piece of news I want to clarify is that there is an announcement for Overlord. I know you peeked the title, and so you're interested in this one. Overlord is getting a Season 4. This is good and bad news, because, you see, Overlord is a great series. I love Overlord. It's one of my favorite light novels to read. I think everybody knows that. And anyone that has read the light novels knows why I say that, because it's a fantastic story, fantastic characters. But the thing is the anime has a very shaky history. The first season wasn't properly adapted, but we moved on to Season 2. Season 2 was definitely a step in the right direction. Even if it wasn't beautifully animated, it still had a really good showcasing of the story, which I think many were able to look past the horrible art or animation. Season 3 came around, and Season 3 once again had the same problem as Season 1 and Season 2, but much worse. It had it to where it was ugly in art and animation. It had a good story at the start, but then it slowly started omitting things that made the show not feel as good. And that's what really upset me, was that Overlord Season 3 ended up in a colossal failure, in my opinion, especially towards the end, with the whole splat scene. That really made me upset. The Dark Young being fully CGI like that, it looked absolutely ugly. And I think many can agree it was one of the worst episodes of the story, but also just an anime in general for that year. It was just really bad. And so, Season 4 being announced is a mixed bag, because Season 4 is going to have some good content. There's some really good stuff that's going to be in Season 4 if it's animated. But the thing is that if it's taken with the same approach with the art and animation and CGI, then it's going to once again have the same exact problems, but much worse. So I'm fearful for a Season 4 of Overlord. Even if I am excited to watch it, I am fearful because of just how poorly done Season 3 was. So we'll see where that goes. But there has been a Season 4 announcement. Hopefully there's actually a studio change. I would actually really enjoy that for a change. Hopefully there is a studio change. It gets away from Madhouse. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much about it with the news today. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe. If you like this video, please leave a like. And if you want to get notified for whenever I upload a video, please click the bell icon down below. And with that, Chibi out.